Remember, I basically say there's like 6 ways to make a winning team. I wrote it down because I want to build my teams like this from now on too. So 1 is super neutral. I'll put an example of a super neutral team out here. So why is this super neutral? Why is it super neutral? Because this team has a neutral assist that ends neutral if it gets out, and has additional coverage with another neutral assist while being able to really freely move across the screen. Between like, that's not the move. Between like shit like this. So let's say like, good luck, right? And this team doesn't need, necessarily need block stun to, once this happens, it's really over. But the team doesn't necessarily need block stun as well to do stuff, because like Blue Goku has a command grab, Broly has a command grab. So a lot of teams, if you don't have stuff that's good against Ki Blast, it's really, really hard to play against this team. This is an example of super neutral. The neutral is crazy overwhelming, and you have to do something about it. That's example number 1. So this is my best attempt at quickly making up a shotgun team. So what I mean by shotgun is that it's just a team that does a shit ton of damage. It's a team that does a shit ton of damage. And let me pick the right assist too. And while I'm on here though, too, on this team, first of all, this is Yasha's team. He's from France. This is a team I would literally main. I would main this team. Like, this team is fucking sick. This team is really sick that Yasha made. But this is also an example of a team, and this is something I'm going to go to a little bit later, where ideally your team doesn't do just one thing. The super good teams do like multiple teams. Do multiple things, my bad. So this team, the damage output is really high. I just picked it lazily because, you know, there's multiple ways to get Spirit Bomb synergy, and I think it's really important if you're going to play base Goku that you can do Spirit Bomb, because it makes your max damage output go like to the sky. But this is just about a team. This style of team is focused on literally just killing you ASAP. It is really important in Dragon Ball to kill people really quickly, because you can heal in this game, and it's easy to get access to the healing between sparking, tagging, guard cancels, safe tags, all this fucking shit you can do to heal your characters. Health management, as people will call it. But if you don't punish tags, you're managing your health. So a team that kills really quickly makes that less of an applicable strategy, and that's why this is one of the many reasons why this team is dope. And it's not the only thing this team does. I just had to quickly find an example of a shotgun team. Cool. So then for the next style of team, I only have to switch one character. It's my team, which my team has a fun story, which we're not gonna talk about. But it went from, y'all niggas told me that I had to drop Roshi for UI, and now my team is the best team in the game. I don't know what's up, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. Tell me. Make up your mind. Make up your mind, dude. So, this team is an example of a set play team, and what I mean is it should be pretty. Gotenks here, so there's no mystery. It's this. You use this to win, right? This is how you beat people. It's pretty straightforward. The knockdown is so strong that everyone's stressed when you knock them down, and they end up sparking really early. If they don't have spark, you could get like 2-touch situations and stuff like that. It's a pretty straightforward thing. There are not a lot of characters that have this, but now, like thanks to Snap being weakened, it's much. To be honest, I already thought it was pretty hard to make a good set play team in season 2. Like, and when I say hard, it's just you didn't have that many options. But in season 3, there's not that many characters that do this to this extent. And now we move to, so this you see on player 2 side, it's a defensive build. So you don't need 2. Some people have done 2 and they go all the way. The almost Nitro team, but it's, some people do 2, other people just do 1, and it's fine. But it's the concept of you have stuff to protect you. It's really, really nice in a game like this. And I can use myself as an example because okay. So in a game, actually, you know what? In a game like Dragon Ball FighterZ, where, you know, a bunch of characters have huge buttons that they can whiff into shit, it's really, really nice to have something that can protect you. So all the defensive assists cover like some type of small spot, like that's the barrier. And here's the, you know, the DP, the straight line, and then like the circle around. Roshi has a circle around him. So you could choose to play 1 or 2, but the whole thing is like, oh, you're protecting yourself from what can come from the game. So this is a team that relies on conditioning. Okay, on the right. Again, I'm just quickly putting characters on a team to use as examples, but I know someone's gonna be like, well, Gogeta has mix now. I know, but the main thing is like, generally these characters, especially if I do like point Vegito, generally aren't like super great at like straight up mixing you up, but they have really good staggers, whether or not their frame data is really good, like Vegito. So like, you know, he's got a bunch of moves that are -5. There's this, it's -5. This is -5. This is -5. Everything's fucking -5. And they either get to be in like just nice situations where they can like mess with you, or they can't directly hit you easily. So here's an example of Vegito where you mix using this and like this to try to like hit people, right? I think it's pretty hard to win with a style team, but if you combine it with like good damage output, then you can be pretty successful with it. And then the last one is Kid Buu. If Kid Buu's on your team's just better. That's it. But truly, it goes back to what I was saying before about Kid Buu, where he from a team perspective, not even talking about him as a character, but from a team perspective, he can always mix up. He gives basically every character's mix up. So especially for the people who really value mix up really highly, which is most people, to be honest, putting him on your team generally makes your team better. Okay. So, with that in mind, so it's 6 things, right? 6 things. Super neutral, shotgun, set play, defense, conditioning / rushdown, and Kid Buu. Those are the things you could do to make your team a good team. Most of the really good teams in the game, and like the really good teams you see playing nationals and stuff, do multiple things. They don't just do one thing. So my team is like a combination of set play and defense, right? I have set play with Gotenks and Broly, and I have a defensive assist protecting me at all times, right? This team on the right, Cloud's team, has Kid Buu, so you got one checked off right away, and has an element of defense on it as well. He's got the tied for the best defensive assist in the game, UI, so he can protect himself. Kid Buu being able to run around with a defensive assist is crazy, and then he still has the neutral control of Kid Buu plus assist, and it has Kid Buu. Again, it has Kid Buu, which is always plus, right? So when you guys are building your teams, if you keep these in mind, you can make a team that does something meaningful. As season 3 has gone on, a lot of people ask me, is my team good? Is my team good? Is my team good? And I've been like, I don't know, generally, because the spread of options are so high now, because everyone has 3 assists. They keep buffing the characters, which is a good thing. But now, one way you can narrow down whether or not your team is good or not is, one, do they do one of these 6 things? And 2, can they do more than one? And then 3, how strong are the specific characters you chose to do the thing that you want to do? So if you want examples of characters that do stuff, so like super neutral characters, like I mentioned, are like Blue Goku. Where's Base Vegeta? Base Vegeta is in this group. And of course some characters do more than one thing as well, by the way. But the main thing is like you just have to pick what you want to do, right? Teen Gohan low-key falls in this group, low-key. Even characters like low-tier examples, right? So like Goku Black is a super neutral character. Cooler is a super neutral character. So you don't have to even just look at the top tiers. Like if you want to play the characters you like, you can still like be like, man, I fucking like Cooler and Janemba and Videl. Like, how can I do something with these characters that fit something that's strong? So in previous seasons, Axelice is like one of the best examples of this in the game, where he plays like I'm gonna make up he played like this team for a while. So at a glance in season 2, people be like, this team fucking sucks, right? People say shit like,
this team is trash, it gets fuzzied so easily, why would you even play Goku Black?
Yeah, like, we get it, right? We get it. Goku Black sucks, we get it. But if you look at what the assists do and what the characters do, despite him playing weak characters, it still does shit that is good in the game. So even though he's playing something weak, he put something that, when you put it together, it's something that we see all the fucking time, right? Shotgun characters, so high damage characters, pretty easy, right? Low tier examples like Zamasu, but then you have things like Tien is out here, Base Goku's out here. Any character that just does really high damage for like no reason. Super Broly is another example. And even some people would be surprised, like characters like 18 do a shit ton of damage as well. So for set play, your options are pretty limited. So you have two ways to go about it. Either like setup, so like 18 and Gotenks style, and Piccolo. There are more characters than that, of course. Or you can go for like level 3, so like 21, Janemba, who else? Easy low tier example, Frieza, right? Frieza's level 3 is crazy, right? For defensive assist, there's obvious stuff like Roshi B. For defense, it's usually about assists. It's not so much about the character, it's about assists. So your options are also, again, a little bit more limited, but there's enough now that you have a bunch to pick from, and there are a couple that are considered like top tier, so you can pick from them as well. It's the whole reason why you're seeing it so much now is because, like, you know, UI is really the reason why you see more defensive assists, but you also have like 18, you have like 17 in this group, you have Cooler, you have a bunch of options here. Again, for defense, you're thinking more about assists than the actual characters in general. Characters, if you want to pick for defense, again, UI, Hit kind of, Jiren. You have a few examples of this. For conditioning and rushdown styles, this is like conditioning and rushdown is the core style of the game. Like the core character of the game is based on that. So characters like Vegeta is probably the one that stands out the most right now, but like, you know, even characters like SJ Vegeta, SJ Goku, Cell is in here, even though Cell also has a good level 3. Again, characters do more than one thing sometimes. Bardock, there are a bunch of characters. It's probably the most common style of character. Like a lot of characters have this conditioning rushdown style aspect to them. And I mean, well, the last group, yeah. Any questions? What archetype does Team Gohan fit into? So you can put him into this. This is how you would do it if you're trying to think about characters. So Team Gohan has a heavy conditioning game, right, with really, really high return, and he does mad damage. He does mad damage. Like, he is a shotgun as well. Those are the two like easiest ones. Some people would group him into like super neutral as well, but I don't think so, personally. So think about that. Think about that when you're thinking about your teams, because right now almost every character is good and playable. I feel like the last season, the main reasons why people didn't pick stuff is either the character is tall, which is Cap, or the character doesn't have an assist that's good, which is legit. But now every character has at least one really good assist, at least one. So when you're thinking about your characters, you're thinking about assists, think about what you're trying to do with that team, and then do that. That is the way. Expand your minds, friends.